The Comic Book Jerk Show is brought to you by Bubba Cola. When you're too fucking cheap to buy Sam's Club, get Bubba Cola at your local Save-A-Lot. We're not actually sponsored by Bubba Cola, but we're back this week. What is up, guys? I got Brian over here. I got Justin over here. Hey, and we a couple of haters. You guys haven't said a word.
Are we a couple of haters?
We couple of haters.
We're waiting.
So what are we talking about this week, Justin? I'm kicking it to you. What are we talking about? What do we
got? Oh my gosh, there's so much. Well, originally we were just going to talk about Full Metal Alchemist, Ghost in a Shell. I got a comic to talk about and stuff. But then, right before we started the show, breaking news, King Kong trailer, Skull Island dropped.
Whoa.
And man, I think everyone's dicks were out for Harambe at that moment, man.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Harambe. That one's for you.
Seriously.
All right.
But yeah.
Every week we have this little game. It's called Justin Reads the Disclaimer. This week we're going to need extra special, quick attention to this, Justin, because we are going to actually include some video clips in the background, try to let people see what's going on and stuff. So if you're tuning into the audio version of the podcast, get your asses over to Facebook or kick it over to YouTube when you got a higher quality version of it to watch at your leisure. So are you ready, Justin? We're going to count it down. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
The following broadcast should follow the provisions of Section 106, 106A of the fair use of copyrighted work, including those used by reproduction copies, and the criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching. Come on, man, you cut it like 10 seconds
the Comic Book Jerk Show. From the flamers and dudes who were trolling the fans, he did a Chlorian masterminds concocting a plan. Before he had an emporium of Endorian ales, and he was complaining about those movies starring Christian Bale. Anime's manga mastermind returned again to reboot his new show with all his geeky friends. Like the difference in Wookiees and tribbles and kibbles and bits, the story comes together like a reductor twist from Harry Potter. Or maybe it's worse, you might even curse the jerk for reminding you that everything's worse. In the back of your mind he says what you never could, and you never should, and you never would, but he could. So listen up, Tro, and let's go. It's time to sit back and watch a Comic Book Jerk Show.
Alright, guys. It's been a very, very eventful couple of weeks, and Yeah, I don't know what to think about the whole country situation, which we won't get into politics, but we will get into... Justin, what do you got for us this week?
I'm talking about comics, and, here, let me get that. I am so ill-prepared. Shame on me, but luckily, I alphabetize my comic books, because I'm cool like that, so...
Alright,
I just find these really quick.
I'll just talk about whatever's behind So this week...
I am back. Shut up. I'm talking now. Everyone listen to me. Alright, so... I'm talking about a comic that came out last month, but I didn't get to talk about it last show. It's called Reborn. And some of you may notice the artist, Mark Miller, Greg Capullo. They're also some of the writers. And it's an Image comic, and there's 2 out right now. And 2 issues so far. It's a new series that is out, and it is fantastic. It is so good. The writing's phenomenal. I just got a recommendation randomly from Collectibles, etc. Richmond. Shout out to those guys. And the artists and the writers immediately catch my name. I love the work that Mark Miller and Greg Capullo do. So I knew I would enjoy it from the start. But as soon as I got into it, it's got a mix of science fiction. It's got questions about, morality, humanity, and an awesome fantasy battle world that I just can't wait to dive into from here and see where it goes. I'm not going to spoil it, but it just deals with the question, what happens to us when we die? Does the lights go out, or is there life beyond that is a whole new journey in itself? So... yeah, it's really awesome. So it's called Reborn, and you can pick it up at a local comic book shop right now. There is 2 issues out. That's the first issue. There's the second, and it's so good. You guys should definitely pick it up. So there's your comic of the week.
I forgot we was podcasting for a minute there. Fruit roll up off the air. Hey guys, what's going on? So
Brian, what's new with you?
Let's check out what Brian's doing.
I that's an interesting question. I guess quite a bit recently. I'm not sure how much of it I can necessarily divulge at the moment, but I was recently in North Dakota, up at Standing Rock, where if you guys have been following the news at home, the Native Americans, the Sioux out there, are protecting their lands and protecting their water from the Dakota Access Pipeline, which is basically breaking treaties that they had, treaty land, and they're basically going through their burial sites and going through their primary source of water. And if that happens, as most people know, pipelines, pretty much their fail rate is sky high. Most pipelines do fail, and if that pipeline happens and it does fail, we're essentially going to be killing these people off, which is a really horrible thing. I mean, for those of you who are studious about American history, true American history, you'll know what this country has done to the Native Americans, and sort of how it's been built on their blood, and how peaceful they've remained. As horrible as we've been to them, they've remained peaceful all this time, including now, trying to protect their water. They're just being prayerful and hopeful and peaceful, and they're being treated like animals out there. It's really horrible. So, it was kind of an amazing thing to see. It's just like this huge expanse of people coming together from all over the world. And what's more amazing is that it's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the primary tribes getting together for the first time in hundreds of years. They haven't done this. They've never coalesced, and this is the first time in several hundred years that these tribes have come together for one cause. In addition to people from all over the world coming in and supporting them, and standing in solidarity with them, and it's just a powerful thing. So it was an amazing thing to see. I'm trying to do my best to, I guess, raise awareness. They need all the help they can get out there. Winter is coming, and it's brutal. I mean, they're living out in tents. They're living out in the elements, in nature, and at that camp. And if they're not able to winterize their camp properly in the next month or so, winter is going to hit, and the reality is, a lot of them are going to perish out there, protecting their land and protecting their water. So, it's kind of a big deal, and I know there's
progress
how
much progress seems to be made there so far? Like, have they made any progress? I mean, other than getting everyone together. I mean, is it doing anything?
Postponed the protests have really caused, from what I've read and seen and been hearing, it's caused a lot of legislation to be, put on hold, and, judges are looking at this and saying, hey, all right, let's look at this and see what the deal is. So,
absolutely.
I don't speak for everyone here, but I think that the majority of us all do stand with Standing Rock, and the Comic Book Jerk Show definitely does. So
that's good to know. I mean, I hate to put it this way, but it is a pretty simple tale of morality here. There's good and there's evil. There's greed, and then there's these people just wanting their water. So I mean, I'd like I'd like to help them out as much as I can. If you guys don't mind, I'd also like to plug their website, where you can go and donate and help them winterize their camp. It's www.Oceti-Sakowin Camp. That's OCETISAKOWINCAMP.org. You can donate over there. You can there's all sorts of information. You can find out how you can help out, lots of different ways. So yeah, please check it out. These people need help. It's an important cause, if there ever was one.
Well, we'll share it on the Comic Book Jerk Show website later. So for sure.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
No problem. So let's segue into. Do we want to talk about old news or new news first? Because I feel like this new news could go on for a while.
Yeah, we probably want to go ahead and talk Kong, because I mean, I'm not really the biggest King Kong fan. I was more of a Godzilla fan. I would watch King Kong when he fought Godzilla, but
they're both amazing and awesome monster movies that defined a whole genre. how could you not love both?
I mean, yeah.
And it's made by the same company who made the new Godzilla.
They defined a genre back in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s, but I mean, they're nostalgia monsters basically. It's like saying, "Hey, what were you going to choose? Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or old school Nintendo?" It's a nostalgia value, which I'd rather choose all of them.
I think that's where I think that this trailer takes a different role on it. I think Peter Jackson's King Kong definitely had the nostalgia value to it. But this version looks like it's taking King Kong in a totally new direction that I love.
Yeah, but to me, we're still running into that same thing for me. That's just like, hey, does forget Peter Jackson, but does Samuel L. Jackson got to be in every single movie? Like it's been going on for 15 plus years. No,
just don't fight it, man.
Stop
don't fight it. The
stop putting him in everything.
Samuel
like
Jackson.
I hate this motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson on this motherfucking show.
This feels like
I get it. He's in everything, but look, how many other actors would you be okay with being in everything? If it has to be anybody, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is a pretty good choice. So
well, I mean,
I don't know.
For
the other people who are in this too. I mean, we got who's also in the post? John C. Rotten, which was surprising to me. I didn't recognize him until he's like, "You guys are stupid for being here."
I love him. He's great.
Who else is in this? The guy who played Loki. I just totally forgot his name.
Yeah, he hasn't been around in a minute, I guess. Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the trailer.
Samuel L. Jackson's got to be in everything, man. It's kill me. He kind of ruined Tarzan for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was enjoying Tarzan and thought it was really awesome, and then the next thing you know, you got Samuel L. Jackson in it. But I mean, it does look like
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie you got to check out. But Brian, what do you think? Like you dig on the nostalgia?
Aaron, comment section is telling us that the feed is frozen on Brian's face.
Okay.
And that's no bueno for me.
Let's see.
Are you sure I just wasn't moving?
What?
Because I have a pretty good frozen face.
Says broadcast interrupted.
Let's see.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it does seem to be frozen on his face.
I mean, our audio's there.
Yeah, I mean, everything seems to be working on my end. It's just not on the Facebook end, so. I don't know. Facebook Live kind of sucks ball sacks lately. You suck, Facebook Live.
Is your Facebook Live still up?
Let's see. Oh, no, we're back. We're good to go. Everything seems to be fine now.
Hang on. Are we working?
Seem to be.
Alright. Well, back to black. Alright, so we're here again. So what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. I don't care if he's in everything. You know what? They put him in Star Wars, and he ended up being one of the only good parts of the original prequels.
Agreed.
Yeah. So come on, you can have Samuel L. Jackson in a movie. It's a thing is, I don't care necessarily if he's in it. I care more about if they're going to make this movie, the writing of this movie. Because if the writing's good, it doesn't matter what he's in. Snakes on a Plane, the writing was awful. But it was just fun to see Samuel L. Jackson run around a plane dropping the mother effer bomb everywhere.
Brian, what's your opinion on it? Like what do you think about the whole monster movie mash going on?
I think it looks great. You have to bring up, I guess, Peter Jackson's movie if you're going to talk about this one because it was somewhat recent-ish. I think Jackson did an admirable thing in trying to replicate, like Justin was saying, the feel of the original film and pay homage to it. But it was a bloated film. It was a very bloated film. And this one looks like it's kind of doing away with that bloated sort of King Kong, Godzilla remake feel where you don't really see much of the, it looks like they're going balls to the wall, pure entertainment. and
like what I
it
was saying
looks like
about.
a ton of fun.
Well, it looks like what I was gonna say with like most monster movies. The problem is you don't get the monster until like 20 minutes into the like later and like the last 20 minutes of the film. Like
Right.
Godzilla. We didn't get to see Godzilla really in action till the last 20 minutes of the film. We didn't really get to see any monsters for the first 30. So I think
Right.
it looks like this film is just kind of going to go, look, we're not going to dance around with feeling the vibrations, or you only get to see like the edge of his leg before it like cuts away to another scene. No, we get to see King Kong, the scale of him. He's fisting, like putting these big fists around a helicopter and just throwing it on the ground. So this guy is huge. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. I just hope it doesn't go like Roland Emmerich Godzilla, like in terms of like you remember the Roland Emmerich Godzilla flick, right?
With the baby
Yeah,
eggs?
like that was
are
like
talking about the Puff Daddy
with the baby
Yeah.
Godzillas and John Cusack and Puff Daddy and all
Wasn't
that
Jeff
shit.
Goldblum
Like-
in that
Let's not.
Who? Jeff Loeb? Who?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
Was he in
Goldblum.
that?
Jeff Goldblum.
Kinda,
No, but it feels like he should have been.
Yeah, it definitely
no,
feels
he
like
was
one of those movies he should have been in. 'cause I
Yeah,
think it's
but see, like that's the danger is that it goes too winky, kind of too much that way. So hopefully it's a good balance between like summer popcorn and then more, and that more reserved style that they did with.
Well,
you know.
it looks like there's more to this island than just King Kong. Because
I mean,
you got like
Monster Island for sure.
you got a bunch of monsters on. It's gonna be Monster Island, which would be awesome to see in the future because the franchise is already confirmed. This is the same guys who made Godzilla. They're gonna make a King Kong versus Godzilla. Maybe there'll be a Godzilla control all monsters kind of all out battle. That'd be awesome. But I'm really excited for this movie.
But is there going to be too many
Like
monsters?
seeing the photos a few days ago was awesome. But seeing the trailer for this just.
But will there be too many
There's
monsters?
monsters.
Because it feels like they're already in this is too many damn monsters. Everything's a monster. The dead stuff's a monster. The dirt is a monster. It looks like the spiders are monsters. And then there's King Kong. He don't like any of them.
Well, spiders would be a monster. Yeah. He's the king. That's why it'll be awesome to see.
You don't fuck with the king.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. I
And
don't.
also, it's
I'll
good to
have-
be the king.
I'll have to pass on it. It'd be one that I skip. I mean, I want to enjoy it, but it's just not. It's not my cup of tea, man. I mean, I don't want to drag anybody down.
I
that
am
does
so
dig
excited
it,
for
but
this.
not too excited.
I love Godzilla. And I love King Kong. And it'll be so excited to see the King Kong versus Godzilla in the future. So, and this one's going in a Vietnam era, which is kind of interesting for any kind of. There's a whole lot of things that I'm really excited to see where the direction they're going to take, because if this is kind of a prequel to the events of the new Godzilla, then by the time we see Godzilla versus King Kong, he's going to be like a silverback, don't mess with me kind of mamma jamma that I'm excited to see.
For sure. I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely going to see it. Aaron, we'll let you know if it's worthwhile. We'll be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep,
it'll
we'll
be
be
a great review because I still haven't even watched the new.
Cinematographer and the monster.
I haven't even
movie
watched the new
fanboy.
Godzilla movie yet. Like I get about
Really?
half through it, and then I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go to sleep because it's so much.
See, that's the problem though, because that first half there isn't enough monster.
And
but the
Bryan
last half
Cranston
is
was
where
in it for
everything's
what,
at.
like 15 minutes? Like they advertised the movie like he was gonna be like.
Yeah, and
in
they
it
basically kill him off twice too.
twice.
Yeah,
How do
it's
you?
pretty-
Yeah, well, he's got like two separate times when you think he's dead. Like the first time is like when everything fucking goes down the first time. I think like he's there while shit's collapsing, and you're like, oh fuck, there goes Bryan Cranston, and then they find him and he's still alive, and then he dies again. So it's like you essentially see Bryan Cranston die twice in the movie.
He needed some fucking
which I
quick
thought was
cash,
kind
didn't he? Like he was like, give me that money. I'll just appear in it like right now. Give me the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking quick cash, fucking talk Power Rangers, buddy.
Oh,
Give me that money!
He actually did voicing for Power Rangers
That's great.
in the original show, and he
And
loved
he really
the Power
needed money back
Rangers.
then.
and he liked his time on the Power Rangers, so he is really gonna be. He was excited
No,
to be on
I'm
the
just
Power
fucking
Rangers.
around. I'm sure he's gonna have fun with it. And
Dude,
You know
I don't
what? We
about-
need
I
to
don't know
get
about
Chris
the
up here now.
Now, real quickly,
so I can have
no,
this debate with
stop.
you guys.
Real quickly, Brian, what the fuck are you gonna do if you watch Power Rangers and you like it? Like, what are you gonna like? What if you fucking watch it and you're like, hey, this is actually a pretty damn good movie? Like, what is that gonna change your opinion on the entire genre? Or are you gonna want other ones? Or
well, all right.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna talk first about this. In Brian's defense, I'm the biggest Power Ranger fanboy that any of us know here, but I have low expectations for this even. So, being real, I'm excited. I am excited for. Yes, I did.
Design? What
but here's the thing. That's a Toys R Us toy. Have the toys ever done the movie justice since the 80s?
These days, the toys represent. These days, I will argue that these days, even your run-of-the-mill Toys R Us toy will do justice to the design of the film. Like, pretty much. Like,
Transformers haven't done. Here's the thing: Transformers haven't even done justice to their own franchise.
Well, how the fuck do you replicate those weird
Transformers movie?
Michael Bay Transformer things? Those things.
They did. They had a whole series about them. Look, I will open my collection right now and show you how detailed some of these things were.
I'm not talking about the originals. I'm talking about this.
No, I am talking about the new Michael Bay. You shut up.
I'm telling you, lately I don't know what's up with Justin, but he's been a little bit out of fucking control. You've been out of control, Justin. You should try to play Battlefield with the man.
You all have been assholes.
Y'all got.
Hey man, I'm becoming the comic book jerk now.
No, you're becoming the comic book asshole. You're supposed to be the cosplay kid. You're supposed to sit over there with your costume and let the grown-ups talk.
You're supposed to sit there in the corner and shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up!
You can't tell me you can't make a detailed Transformer when you can make a 3-foot tall or 2-foot tall Optimus Prime Supreme that transforms into the trailer and Optimus Prime. Don't tell me you can't make a toy based off of Michael Bay's movie. It even has the awesome gun that he uses, and it goes blaster mode. So don't tell me you can't do it. Toys today could and should, but they don't. That is all.
Okay.
I go back to my previous argument. Toys don't do the movies justice. I am giving it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also giving this movie the benefit of the doubt. On to you, Brian.
We've made
a giant turd.
We've made detailed representations of a Michael Bay film. Not only did we get the fucking dog tags right on Michelangelo's fucking clothes, but we also put a dress on Michelangelo. He's ready to rock and roll. That is right. But anyways, Brian, what are you going to do if you like the movie?
Then I'll like it. I guess I'll have to, I don't know, maybe I'll fucking, maybe I'll just have a total meltdown or something. I'm not sure. But
because I know you agree.
He's going to go home and watch Voltron and be like, I'm so sorry I cheated on you, baby. I'm so
That's exactly what's probably going to happen. Voltron's going to fucking break up with me. It's going to be horrible, man. See, and that's why I can't do it.
Yes. Who is the Power Rangers? I thought I was your only favorite robot teen action fighting show.
That's right.
I kind of feel like
Voltron for the win.
What I kind of feel like is going on with this movie is perhaps Josh Trank is fucking actually directing the Power Rangers movie and perhaps using a pseudo director's name and actually having somebody pretend to direct it, because it seems a hell of a lot like fucking Chronicle, and that's the last I'll talk about it for tonight. But what if we like it is the real question.
Like I said, I'm going in as a Power Rangers fan with low expectations just because I really don't know how I feel about how they're changing their origin.
Okay,
these kids are somehow the bad kids
next week,
who just ended up in an adventure.
Next week I'm going to have to steal that clip from Mad TV, the lower expectations thing. Lower expectations. put that in here for next time. But anyways, here's what I was wanting to talk about earlier. Speaking of Japanese stuff being translated to American and turned into live action, but I really kind of dig the Full Metal Alchemist trailer, man, a lot. Even though it's just a teaser.
Trailer, yes.
I mean, there's just something about that it's like, how are you going to do it so dead on to what the anime is, but yet America can't seem to even get it right? Like, I don't know. This is so, like, close to what you would picture the anime being. It's just odd.
Is this the same guys who made Attack on Titan?
I have no idea,
I didn't care for the Attack on Titan movie all that much.
I didn't get to see it, but I heard
it was alright. It wasn't
yeah,
great.
It was alright. It was short. I mean, it was very short to even be a 2-part film.
But I really am excited for FMA just because. But I mean, I'm hesitant just because FMA is so like. It's kind of like, you know, the first episodes and their origin just scratches the surface, and then as it goes deeper, there's a grand conspiracy. So maybe we'll get a series out of this. That would be really cool. So.
I was so disappointed when I was reading a post earlier this week when Ghost of the Shell in the Shells trailer came out. There was somebody actually posting a side-by-side comparison with the anime and the film and how the similarities mixed. And it was so stupid because the dude was actually complaining, this is way too close to the actual anime. This is exactly like the anime. This shouldn't be like the anime. And I'm sitting here thinking, as fanboys, people bitch about how shit is not exactly how it is in the books or how it is on the anime.
Fanboys, man.
But then you give them exactly what they
you
fucking
can't please
want,
a fanboy,
and it pisses them off. Like, what is the point of giving?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You give someone what they want, and they still complain about it. I don't get it. So it's like, hey, let's make a movie. Let's make a superhero movie with less humor. We give them less humor. Oh no, that was too serious. Then it's too serious. You know, it's like you can't please anybody anymore.
Yeah, now that movie is going to be the subject of a lot of controversy, no matter how you slice it. Because I mean, even if you get past that stuff, you know, there's all the controversy about casting Scarlett Johansson in the film versus, you know, someone Japanese.
Someone said. Someone from the comments said because the studios that are put in charge of anime movies are usually the same guys who manage to ruin comic book movies like Fox or ABC. Oh, shout out to you, Gotham.
Well, there's a reality behind this, and the reality is that as far as I know, I could be wrong, but I don't know of any Asian actresses that have anywhere close to the bankable name, star power, that Scarlett Johansson has. And this is a very high budget, high profile film. So the argument can be made that if this was going to be made as an American film, it was going to need a star in the lead that could at least bring back some of that box office for this big a project. So I can't think of any Asian actresses that could have pulled that off in terms of star power. I understand the business behind it. However, you know, at the same time, it's a complicated subject, you know. Japanese Americans aren't exactly marginalized as a minority in this country. So it's not as touchy as, like, I don't feel it's anywhere near as touchy as some of these other scenarios in terms of, you know, being politically correct and casting diverse.
You could go ahead and say the term. I mean, people will consider this to be whitewashing. Hey, you're taking an American actor
absolutely
and put him in there.
I get it. I sympathize. I definitely understand the sentiment. But again, there are arguments to be made in terms of why it was done, and also in terms of, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but I don't feel like.
I mean, the same could be said about Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, you're essentially putting an Asian actor in what the anime. You watch it, and he's in like this stylistic Nazi Germany thing in the first Full Metal Alchemist movie.
He's in an alternate reality form of Eurasia. He's not in Nazi Germany. You're thinking of the first Full Metal Alchemist show where they did like the alternate timeline, you know, but it wasn't based on the manga. It was one of those weird things. But I mean, I think honestly, here's my thing about it is this. I love Scarlett Johansson, and you know, when I first heard she was announced for Ghost in the Shell, I was very hesitant because I was like, okay, I've seen Ghost in a Shell. I don't know how Scarlett Johansson's going to work, but this first trailer gave me a lot more confidence than I thought I would have.
It's a fantastic looking trailer. I mean, controversy aside, they're definitely doing justice to the original anime.
I think she wanted to do just as much justice too. I don't think she wanted to screw this up for anyone. She knew what she was getting into.
And yeah, if you look at the Full Metal Alchemist movie, Justin, it was set in Germany because Germany actually discovered some kind of alternate timeline or something, and Al and his brother are pretty much stuck.
That's based. See, you're thinking the first Full Metal Alchemist series, though. There was two. There's Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I like to think that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is more canon because it actually follows the manga too. So
yeah, but you got to go by the original too. I mean, you have to throw them both in. I mean,
that was the original that was out before the manga was finished. That's why it kind of deviated on its own path. Then they went back and made Brotherhood, which followed it closer. So I mean, fans of the manga, I've watched both. I enjoyed both, but fans of the manga follow Brotherhood more than fans, following the first. Like Full Metal Alchemist, the original that you're talking about, was the first anime I ever watched. So it holds that near and dear part of my heart. And gosh, dang it still F's me up every time I watch it with all the plot twists, all the deep and meaning to it, and questions about existence and life. So, I mean, I don't care if they put an Asian guy as Ed, as long as he's true, as long as the show is true to the character, as long as it's true to the story. The same I am with Scarlett Johansson being in Ghost in a Shell.
I guess I feel a little bit differently, just slightly. It's like, if you're dealing with a minority that's been marginalized kind of thing, I think it's probably a really good idea to push for not whitewashing, that kind of thing. In this case, like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I would like to live in a world where we could actually have an American Ghost in the Shell film with a properly cast lead. It would be nice. Unfortunately, we're not there yet.
If I was going to recast it, I definitely would take the chick who played Katana from Suicide Squad to be her. So, first of all,
you know what? I couldn't even say that because she had so little screen time that I have no idea if she's a capable actress in that role. So,
I mean, I see it like this.
Katana's like, check out my sword. That's it. So she didn't have much screen time in that film. I mean, is she in the extended cut anymore, Justin?
Yeah, there's more of her in the extended cut, and she actually does. Like, in one of the scenes that I saw, she goes back and forth with Harley and actually has a pretty, semi-powerful moment where she, takes off her masks and Harley's, bouncing around her, psychologically profiling her because she's bored, and she's like, I bet that you just hide behind a mask to suppress your daddy issues, and she takes off her mask and looks Harley right in the eyes, and she's like, I'm hiding from no one. And I thought that was a pretty cool scene that I'm really excited to see in context of the whole film, so we'll talk about that when we all see it. From the comments section, and if Hollywood ever attempts its own Full Metal Alchemist movie, they're going to have to push for a hard R rating. Is Ghost in the Shell rated R?
The original anime, I don't know if the movie is, but the original anime definitely, if translated. And it did looks like they're pushing for a PG-13 here, because if you look at the anime, the way she's drawn, for example, she's nude in the anime. Yeah. And they're definitely going for more of a cyborg nudity look with this one. Which is fine. I have no problem with that. I mean, she's meant to be a robot. You don't need to put nipples on a robot. But damn, it looks cool. I mean, I fucking love hard sci-fi, and this just looks like, I mean, anytime somebody throws $200 million at hard sci-fi, I'm like, so
put me there. Yeah.
It's like going back to Blade Runner. I mean, for me, I feel like it looks like Blade Runner, but it also looks like a more futuristic version. But then it also looks exactly like Ghost in the Shell. And I mean, for me, I don't care about who's cast as who. I don't care if you're white or black or different races or whatever. I mean, for me, it's if you can take on the role, then you can take on the role. And we basically did something that's just a complete flip-flop in 2016. I mean, you've got a black Jimmy Olsen, which is really cool. You've got a black Iris West, which is really cool. A black Wally West, which is really cool. So, I mean, there's cultural diversity now for the fanboys. So, it doesn't matter, like...
Yeah, and I think that's important.
And, I mean, now we even have a Chinese Superman, which is pretty strange, but that's pretty cool at the same time.
Is he part Chinese?
We do have.
No, he's full Chinese. That's the new. He's referring to the new Superman comic from Rebirth, which I did a segment on. The concept's interesting because there actually is like a Justice League of China, and a secret government conspiracy in China have their own superhero program. Actually, kind of a cool concept, but I never picked it up past the second issue.
Honestly,
being honest, but
Marvel kind of broke the mode there. I mean, honestly, I think Marvel was the first ones to kind of do this flip flop because they basically came out and said, hey, we're going to take one of our leading characters, a Spider-Man, and then we're going to give you a black version of that character. And, you know, Miles is not just black, but he's also a mixed race. So, I mean, even though his skin color is black, he's not, you know, full black. But
right.
But, you know what the thing is, though, I still think about that issue I was reading. Well, the thing that I remember was this issue where I was reading, and this blogger saw a video of Miles where his suit got cut, and she could see his skin underneath. And she's like, oh my god, I'm freaking out. We actually have like a black Spider-Man. And he's just sitting there and he's like, and he's just sitting there and he's really quiet. And his best friend who saw the video is like, what are you thinking? And he's like, I'm just mad. I don't want to be black Spider-Man. I just want to be Spider-Man, you know? Why do I have to be identified by my race to be a superhero?
Exactly, man.
And that's the thing I think with a lot of comics. I think that diversity in comics is great because it just shows that, you know, anyone, any age, any race, any height, whatever. I mean, we've got Faith in Valiant Comics, who's a, you know, a plus-size superhero.
I think that one is maybe a little bit pushing it too far into the realm of dangerous because that's one thing I do not agree with. I mean, body shaming is a bad thing, but there needs to be an understanding. There needs to be an understanding.
But I'm just saying that it's showing. But I think that it's showing that anyone of any body type could, or you know, it's body shaming is awful, but there are still people out. But I don't want to.
What I'm saying is that it's maybe a little bit complicit in people being okay with being heavily overweight, which isn't healthy. That's a health issue. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason it's frowned upon. You know.
Well, I agree that comic actually points it out. Like it'd be different. It'd be different if it actually throws it out and it makes it front and center. It'd be different if it was like, hey, we've got a character and she's overweight, but you don't point it out and put her front and center like, hey, this is the first fat female character that we're putting in comic books. That is not... I mean, that's not a way to use a selling point. I mean, if it just gradually was like, hey, you know, this is a superhero and she's just a person, just like you and me and all that. Instead, it's like you said, it feels like the comic is meant to be a fat-shaming comic, but, you know, to try to make you feel...
not fat-shaming. Not fat-shaming, not at all. My point is that it's
okay to be like that.
And it's not that it's not okay to be like that, but to say that when it's a little bit dangerous to say, okay, you know what, you can do anything you want no matter how big you are, and that's not true. You don't want to encourage people and enable them to think that, you know, for example, it's a good idea to go ahead and gain weight and get fat and that you could still do anything. Because I'll tell you, firsthand experience, I gained a little bit too much weight and I was crippled for about a year. So, you know, there's a reality to these things, and you don't want to give... No, I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm just saying, you know...
I was trying to say with that example, though, is that it's finally showing different people in different ways of life. You know, it's not just heterogeneous. Everyone's got a six-pack. Everyone's 6 feet tall. Everyone's white. Everyone, you know, all these guys are, like, wealthy living. And that's what I'm trying to say with characters like that, with the diversity they're showing in just different people. And it deals with issues of body shaming in that Faith comic. It deals with issues of, you know, she knows that it's not healthy, but, you know, it's, you know, something she's working on, but, you know, she's dealing with it as she can while trying to use her powers for good.
And see, I haven't read the comics. If that's in there, that's great, because that's an important part of that. Should be an important lesson.
And I think it's the lesson that all of these people are trying to, these different comics are putting out. Like, you know, with Miles, I don't want to be Black Spider-Man. I want to be Spider-Man. I don't want to be a Teen Titan. I'm a superhero in my own right. Doesn't matter what my size is, you know, or how old I am. So I think that that's the kind of the image that, you know, or like the new Superman.
Then
You
again,
know,
some people are very proud of their if you want to if of their label, that's a double edged sword. But I agree with what you're saying. It's
yeah,
great that
yeah. I think it's and lots of comics do balance the pride and heritage with wanting to just be this everybody's hero. And I think that we don't see that enough in comics and movies in general. And yet the same argument could be made with film and TV that there's a good balance between the heritage and wanting to be everyone's hero. And I think that's what a lot of us deal with too. Our own backgrounds, where we're from.
sure.
Comics answer those questions. How do we balance, being a superhero or being the college student and being who we want to be,
Absolutely.
So, yeah. That's what I was just trying to get at. I wasn't trying to say that one's better than the other or that we should be happy about one or the other, and that's diversity. I'm just trying to say that comics are trying to show every
there's an absolutely inclusive feeling with comics these days, and I think that's a great thing, and definitely really important for sure.
Yeah, I think we need to break away from the whole subject because it's kind of like throwing it in there, and like everything's touchy nowadays. You don't want to piss off the PC race because then it's like
true.
Hey, you remember?
There's that too. There's that. There's that.
You're
too.
right. It's touchy. It's hard to talk about anything now.
I'm just so glad this election's over, just because comics were getting really, a little too far into politics when I'm reading these to escape that. So I will say I am glad that that's over, because now we can go back to them fighting Doctor.
Seriously, I'll be totally honest with you. If you think entertainment's is gonna go back to just being entertainment right now, you're wrong, because everything is going to be a platform for subversive kind of opinion, but, like that.
I don't want my comics taking a week like Marvel did to make every comic about getting people to go to the polls and vote. I want to read about Deadpool going and fighting Doctor Doom. Sorry, I not that I don't care about promoting civic duty, but come on, give me a break. I see it everywhere I go. Let me just read a comic without having to think about
I think
politics for a second.
When it comes to Marvel comics, I think everything has drifted away so far that the only way to redeem it is to just start over. Because so far you've got rid of everything that fans grew up with. You got rid of Steve Rogers.
Like they did. They already did.
No, but
they didn't know how to.
They've took all your main characters and they've turned them into different people. Like your Steve Rogers is gone, your Thor is gone, your Falcon is completely somebody else, and your Bucky is somebody else, and it's just give me the people that I know that I like, just give me the.
All right, question from the comments. Change the subject. Thoughts on the current season of Flash and Legends of Tomorrow? Go.
It's okay. I mean, if you want to talk about it, I really was about to say that Arrow was really good this first episode, and then he started this stupid team mentality shit, and then now they've already lost me again. I could care less about what Green Arrow's team is doing and more about what he is doing, but they seem to want to kind of sucker you in and take everything that was fun about the second season and then shove this hey, he can't fight by himself, he can't do anything on his own. And that's the mentality of Green Arrow and Arrow that I like, is he drifted way too much into this Batman family bullshit instead of being the one guy that could take on anybody. He's like, I've got to have a team. So that shit's getting on my nerves. Like, every one of these superhero shows, it's like the superheroes cannot do it on their own. Supergirl can't do it on her own. She's got a whole fucking worldly department to help her out. The Flash can't do it on his own. He's got to have a fucking team of different people to do it. Oh, that's
Flash had Star Labs.
Yeah, but he had Star Labs, but he didn't have these close fucking friends that are all buddies, and it seems like every superhero's got to have a fucking black sidekick instead of giving us a black superhero show. Like, it's just, I'm so tired of the team element and want a few episodes where it's just the heroes themselves. Like, if you got a show called Arrow, give me an episode of nothing but Arrow. You got a show called Flash, you're giving me plenty of Flash. You know, Supergirl, you're giving me plenty of Supergirl. But Arrow's just too much of this team mentality, and it's really affecting fans' perceptions.
I don't think it's so much the team mentality that's kind of messed it up. It's just the fact that they want to deal with too much, you know, drama outside the suit versus, I mean, I get that you want it's kind of like that conflict of Bruce Wayne versus Batman, who's the real person that I'm trying to be, and you've got that drama that you're dealing with interpersonally, but then, like, when you make your whole show, like, whole episodes about the drama outside the action, and then 10 minutes out of the 50-minute episode about just action, then
Dude, they don't have the money.
I'm excited.
I mean, you got to think of this. They're not going to have the money and the budget to give you a 24 episode series, and they go fucking splody special effecty in every single episode. I mean, it's just budget wise.
They have to have that, a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to have some kind of subplot or some kind of filler episodes, because every series you got, even Flash, they have to have what they call the filler episodes to just kind of take up space and, just be thrown in there. But, I mean, Arrow, it doesn't have all that explody stuff that it needs to have. Like, the relationship parts of it and the storylines are more enwrapping than any of the action. Because, I mean, the fight scenes seem so choreographed that they're unbelievable anymore. So, I mean, I would rather see the saga element of it rather than the superhero element when it comes to Arrow. Now with Flash, it's like I don't know how they managed to push the limits every single episode. There's special effects. Every single episode there's something splody or vaporizing, lasery, and I mean there's always something in that. And with Supergirl, they use so many awesome practical effects to make her look super strong and to make her look awesome that those elements become part of the story to where they're synchronized with the budget right. But, I mean, Arrow, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if ratings affect the budget that they're provided to do another season or what, but Arrow's dropped off for me, I mean, honestly. And, I mean, when it comes to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's the same process, except it's Marvel's version of, hey, we got a big group of people and they're going to do stuff. It's like, give me a superhero show.
I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though.
Like, if you look back...
Well, what about Gotham? It's just like it's just hey, we got a whole team, GCPD.
No, dude, Gotham is a completely different thing. Gotham mainly focuses on Gordon. I mean, it doesn't have that, hey, I need to kiss your ass, or I got a best friend, and this best friend, we got to form a team of people to monitor us and surveil us. What Gotham does good, that all these other shows do different, is the technology is sucked out of it. Gotham is such a drained situation where it's like, hey, we do stuff by actually going out on the streets and finding out what's going on. We dig through records and history. There's never any of this super hacker bullshit like, hey, I have to have a super hacker on my team in order to prevail, or in order to fight crime, I've got to have just that one person on the team that's a super hacker and that one black guy that's going to be my sidekick. That's what these CW shows need to eventually break away from to give us an actual superhero show. Gotham takes it a completely different direction. Like, you can't put Gotham up against any other show, because Gotham is not even really a superhero show. It's more like a cop drama placed in this fantasy realm. And it's actually really good because it's in the mythology. But, I mean, I would rate it like this. Gotham is definitely better than Arrow. And at times, Supergirl and Flash pretty much tie for first. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't even really on my list. I mean, I can't really get into it. But, I mean, Gotham is a really great show for what it is. But, I mean, I got to put, even before Gotham, though, I got to put Lucifer up there. Because Lucifer has been, like, my favorite show on Fox currently right now. Like, there's just something about that element of a cop drama of a guy that is the son of God who comes back out and he's just, I don't know, that's one of those shows you got to check out. But I don't know how you feel about it, but that team element is just a tad too much. It's got to go. Give me my solo Batman series and move on. But speaking of which,
let's just make Batman Beyond again.
Batman Beyond would have been freaking
Speaking of
amazing
which,
if they did a TV series of it. But let's talk about the other element that popped out today. We do have the Justice League Dark trailer that popped out today. Well, this is the old one, but still. What do you think about this, Justin? Where's your stance on Justice League Dark? I mean, it's going to be another
I am
rated
still
R.
disappointed that they never went live action. I'm still so disappointed they never went live action with it. Yeah, but then again, I'm kind of glad because DC doesn't really... They don't have their footing yet to go into the weird and wacky just yet. I mean, Suicide Squad was pushing it for them, I think.
Brian, do you ever watch the DC animated films when they come out?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah,
this
one's going to be really cool just because the guy who voices Constantine was also the actor who played Constantine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, from the TV show. So
Well,
it's kind of like a...
It's also another
extended
rated R
character.
feature, though. So it's actually rated R. I don't know what they could possibly do to make it
I'm
rated
glad
R. But
I didn't see the
DC
trailer. Is the
film
Spectre in this one?
that they can,
I don't
Spectre?
I don't think the Spectre's actually in
No,
this.
Deadman, Zatanna, what's her name? Well, there's Constantine,
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Nice.
What's his name? The demon who speaks in Limerick and Run.
Yeah, the Demon. He was in a Batman animated series episode. I can't never remember his name.
Yeah, old. I can't remember his name either. Modagon or something. And I don't know who the chick is. But all I know is this is going to be really cool because I've always loved the magical, mystical side of DC and some of the stuff they deal with magic. And the fact that Batman's kind of alongside with him is going to be really cool too. Because I love what Batman... Every time... Etrigan, that's his name. Yeah, the thing is with Batman is, though, he's such a skeptic about it, but at the same time he acknowledges that some of these people know lots more about this than he will. So he just kind of rides along, you know, just trying to, let's see where this goes. He acknowledges that these people know a hell of a lot more than he ever will about magic.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll make a sequel to this because you really can't have Justice League Dark without the Spectre. Now that Brian mentions that, that's going to aggravate the shit out of me. I'm gonna be like, where's the Spectre at? Where's the Spectre at? Like, he built... Like
the chick is Zatanna in this film, so I guess she's in this. They just got her looking a lot weirder. I didn't recognize it. So, I'm really excited. I hate, yes, how they did Deadman's voice in this. Oh my god, it sounds so annoying.
That's okay. Like, we could always go back and redub it.
I love Swamp Thing's voice, but I hate Deadman's voice. And I think that's the only thing that's going to annoy me. Excuse me. Because he sounds like Binky from Binky and the Brain. Hey, Brian, what are we going to do tonight?
Chances are he could be. He could be. There's a possibility.
Probably. I don't know. The voice just doesn't do it for Deadman. But this film is going to be very exciting. I'll probably just wait and rent it just because I love the characters, but I've never been like, gotta have it, gotta see it. It's Justice League Dark like some of my other friends are, but this should be good.
But yeah, I think that's...
I love John Constantine.
I think that's all that we got for this week's podcast. Are you ready to take the challenge, Justin? Are you ready to do the challenge?
Yes.
Are you amped up?
Yes. Let's... Amped up, maybe.
Get excited because we're about to put you
through
the challenge.
Give me the full time.
Okay, I'll count it down for you.
Oh wait!
What?
We gotta have final plugs.
Oh yeah, what is the final plugs this week, guys? What you got for us, Brian? You want to plug it again?
Oh, I don't know. I barely do anything with WTF Mall. So let me go ahead and plug the website for the camp out in North Dakota, so people can help out. It is www.ocetisakowincamp.org. Donate, help them out. Winter's coming, and these people are going to be going through a lot. Please.
All right, Justin, what you got?
So that's awesome. Shout out to Collectibles, etc. Richmond. There's also a branch in Lexington if you want to check them out for all your collectibles and comic needs. They also buy, sell, and trade.
And I'm not plugging anything this week, so fuck you guys.
What about the Kentucky Funko League of Awesomeness?
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
we're all members.
You can plug them. Go for it. I would usually plug myself, but we see how plugging myself's done over the years. There'll be like 24 people that watch this on YouTube. So
go to comic stores and get Reborn. It's really good. You won't regret it. So
are you ready to do this challenge,
all right.
Justin? 3.
I am ready.
1.
The following broadcast should follow the provisions of 106.106a, the fair use of copyrighted work, including those used by reproduction, copies, paragraph types, and any other means specified by the section of purpose, such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, technicals, including multiple copies or classroom scholarships or research, and non-infringing of the copyright.
I still framed it for you. You finally did it, Justin. Congratulations.
I got it. Mama, I did it. Oh, Mama, I did it.
You didn't even have to conjure up Dormammu. Or Dornamu.
Bro, don't adjust your keyboard. You're about to watch
I've come to bargain.
Do they call it Durgurger?
I've come to bargain.
Durkadur.
They call it Durkadur. Hey guys, South Park is out. We need to go watch South Park. Everybody, come on, next, come on.
Is it out now?
I don't know.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Boys and girls,
come to bargain.
Children of all ages.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Thank you for tuning in.
Dormammu,
Thank you for tuning in to the Comic Book Jerk Show. Grab your Bubba Cola.
Bargain!